Yo, 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 yo. We are back at it. We got the chef with us right about now. And we're not talking about Raekwon the chef. We got Chi-Town's own chef.
Yes,
And
sir.
he goes by the name of Chef Cody, aka Cody Styles. When he's a rapper, he's the Cody. When he's a producer, he's the chef.
Right,
So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. Not a lot of producers can rap well, and not a lot of rappers can produce well. So, what made you want to jump in both fields and keep all that publishing to yourself? Ha ha.
right. Yeah, that's the secret. Yeah, no. So, man, I officially, to be honest, I started producing first,
Okay.
and I have a little brother. He goes by Old Goody. Shout out Old Goody. He started rapping
Right.
to my beats, and we just kind of started like developing, and he started doing like talent shows across Chicago, and was like winning and
Right.
got radio play. And this is like I'm talking like 12, 13 years ago. And so this when producers weren't really getting like all the credit like they
Right.
are now. So I was getting jealous. I'm like, man, he on the stage getting all the love. I'm the one that
Right.
made the beat, everybody vibing to it. So I was like, let me try rapping. And that's literally how I got into rapping.
Okay. The
Yeah.
story of every producer. Is tired of the rapper getting all the shine.
yeah.
That's crazy. So we got the tape out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Compliments of the chef. This is volume one.
Volume one. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
What took this amount of time to get an actual beat tape out? What was this something you were thinking about in the past, but you just finally got around to it, or was it just like what
Um,
led up to it?
yeah. So man, it's weird. Like when I release stuff, to be honest, it's kind of like just like a vibe, kind of like a spur of the moment type of thing. To be honest, and I,
Right,
I have thought about doing it like in the past,
right,
but I don't know, man. I was just one day I was making some beats, and I kind of like sat back and was going through my folder of beats, and I'm like, yo, I got all these beats just kind of sitting here that I made for like the beat battles and stuff like that. I'm like, why don't I just go ahead and compile them together, put them out,
right,
and just show it to the people, and
right.
do it
And
like
for
that.
for those that don't know, every time you log on to Beat Economy or now Beat Tape, the intro beat that you hear is Chef Cody's beat.
Yes, sir.
So you hear him every single battle, every single
Look,
show. So if you like the beat, you're gonna find out a little bit more about the person behind that beat and behind the tape altogether. Compliments of the chef, volume one. Chi
yeah,
Town. Let's get into
yeah,
some Chi Town history before we even jump into the tape.
most
What's
definitely.
there's actually a group I was watching an interview of somebody and they were talking about Crucial Conflict,
Yeah,
which is an
yeah,
old school group that
mhm,
people might know by the song "Hey." I
right,
thought the song was dope, and then they kind of disappeared over
yeah,
time.
yeah,
But Chi Town's always been in the mix. Chi
right,
Town's always before Kanye. Chi Town's always been in the mix.
most,
So
most
give us a
definitely.
little, a little understanding of the production in Chi Town. Is there a specific
Ye-
sauce that goes into Chi Town, or
Yeah,
what is it about Chi Town that has kind of kept their place in hip hop throughout the years?
yeah, most definitely. So, for me, um, like early on, I was a big Common fan. Uh,
No ID on the
and No
beats.
ID, yeah. So No ID was the one that's making the beats, and that was kind of like the first time that I was like, man, I'm like, how is he? He's got these samples with these beats. Like, how's he doing that? You know what I'm saying? And then that did kind of turn into like the whole Kanye,
Right.
and then I found out that like No ID taught Kanye how to do what he was doing, and I was like, wait,
Okay.
hold up,
I never
like,
heard that before.
oh yeah.
Mm.
So officially, like when Kanye started producing, No ID was the one that taught him how to sample
Wow.
and how to
Okay.
incorporate samples to his beats. Yeah,
I've never
so
heard that story before.
yeah, yeah,
Interesting. Interesting.
yeah, yeah, legit. And so what I started doing was like I said, I was a big Common fan, and this is back when CDs were a popular thing. So
Right.
I'm going to the CD booklet, looking up like, okay, it's produced by No ID. Oh, it contains this sample. Okay, so and kind of went from there, and I kind of figured out that like it's a lot of like there's a lot of like soulful artists that he was sampling.
Right.
That kind of got me into piqued my interest into trying to find out how to sample and how to
Right.
how to do the same thing he was doing. Yeah,
Okay. I can definitely hear that influence in the sample, the,
yeah,
the
yeah.
the intro beat. That's what caught my attention when I heard it. Kanye's what immediately came to mind? Like this
Yeah,
sounds very Kanye-ish.
most definitely.
So I can
It,
definitely,
I was gonna say, can I say one thing? I didn't mean to
yeah,
cut
for
you off.
sure, for sure.
So for the intro beat, it was actually like a collaboration with my guy Easy. Is that's somebody that actually kind of like influenced my production style from early on. So I got to
Okay.
shout out to Easy. Yeah, yeah.
Shout
And
out
I
to
think
Easy. It's always good producers get their credit. We
yeah,
always hear the stories where producers are not getting their credit.
right,
Those stories are a dime a dozen. Every day there's a new story coming out of a producer that made this and made that and made this, and they jump out the woodworks later. We'll get into that later, some more of the business side of it, because producers definitely got to have their business airtight in this game. All it takes is one hit to put you in a whole nother, take your life to a whole nother level. One
yeah,
hit is all it takes, but you
yeah,
got to have your business in order when
right.
and if that happens, because if it's not in order, then you'll live
So,
to regret that down the road. Your kids will live to regret it. So, but let's
right,
let's jump into the beat tape. Compliments of the Chef, Volume One. The first beat is called Finish Line. We probably should have saved that for the last, but we're gonna play it first
right.
anyway. We're gonna hear the
Yep,
heat from beginning to end anyway. So let's
yeah,
start
yeah,
with Finish Line real quick, and
yep.
we're gonna be back in a second.
Cool, cool.
You got one of them. That's the highway. That was one of those highway beats for me. That's one
Yeah,
of those
yeah,
beats I'm on the highway and I just put it on repeat. So
right,
so I
right,
don't
right.
I don't gotta be bothered rewinding it. Just put it on repeat and just
Yeah,
zone out.
right, right.
Very, very dope, man. I love the subtleties make a whole lot of difference in beats. A lot of
Yeah,
times, or at least sometimes, producers are looking for that big hoorah, and it could
right,
be the
right.
subtlest little offbeat or one little key that's a little off, or the subtlest little thing, and
Hmm.
totally changes the whole beat. And
Yeah,
yeah, I notice you do that a lot in your production. You look for that little sound, that little thing that just and it just adds a whole body
yeah.
of to the beat. What was the mind state behind that particular beat? What was going on that created that beat, the title of the beat, and everything?
Behind that beat, man. Um,
Finish line. You had that.
yeah.
You had to have something in mind for even naming it that.
Naming in the finish line. Yeah, I just felt like that was like that's like the type of sound as you would hear when you're crossing that finish line. You know what I'm saying? Whatever
Mm,
whatever it is you're trying to do, not just
right.
like a race, but just anything you're trying to do in life.
Right.
That's like that championship music. Like that. That's that like you know the self congratulations.
Right.
But when I was making that beat, that's kind of the mindset I was in. I was just like, I'm just trying to just make something that's like a champions anthem type of
Right.
vibe, pretty
Right.
much. Yeah.
Do you ever feel like as a producer you gotta when you're producing that you're
Yeah.
representing Chi
Yeah.
Town, or you're just I'm just Chef Cody doing my thing, or do you feel like you're carrying like you're feeling like your whole city's on your shoulders when you make music?
Man, I love that question. I actually I do it for Shot Town. I do. Even
Mm,
when I like rap,
right.
like, a lot of my everyone, if you hear my music, I
Right.
shout out Shot Town all the time, man. Like
Okay.
that's what made me, what I'm
Right.
saying? But that's what influenced my sound. So yeah, yeah, I definitely do it for Shot Town.
Okay. I know
Yeah,
Chi Town there's a lot of wild stories in the
yeah,
news. Those
yeah.
on the outside, we don't know how official all of it is. Maybe it's 100% what the news reports, or maybe it's not.
Yeah.
How does that impact your music, your sound, or does it?
For me, it doesn't. Growing up, man, I wasn't really like in the streets or anything like that. I was in them books and I was
Right.
in these beats. That was it for me. But yeah, it doesn't really. yeah, that type of stuff doesn't really influence my music, to be honest.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Let's jump into the next track. We got La La 200.
Okay. Yeah,
There's
yeah.
actually so these are the actual names of the beats that are on the tape as I have them. Finish line La La 200.
Yeah, so
Okay.
for that one, the 200 is on there because I used this for one of the 200.
Okay. Okay. Because I noticed
Yeah,
there's two beats with the 200 on it.
right, right.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's
Okay.
still called La La on the beat tape though. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So this is Lala, another track off Chef Cody,
Yep.
Compliments of the Chef, Volume 1. Track the beat tapes on all platforms. And you're gonna get a preview here right about now. So this is Lala. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Damn, Cody, what you cooking, G? Sheesh.
Nice, nice, nice. Give us some background on the equipment you use to make these bangers. Strictly
Yeah.
software, hardware. What's the arsenal looking like?
Definitely, man. To be honest, I keep it simple. All I have is I have an Alesis V125 mini keyboard, and then I use Reason 11, and
Okay,
that's it. And then I do my sampling and I'm having a brain fart right now in Recycle.
okay,
Yeah, and
okay,
that's pretty much it.
okay.
Yeah.
Chef Cody self-taught, or were you an apprentice before? Like, what's the method of progressing to becoming a producer? Like, did
Mo-
you go to school? I don't know if there's music school. I'm assuming there's a music school in town that a lot of producers went through or whatnot.
Right, right.
Um,
So this is actually a funny story. So I didn't go to school for production or anything like that.
right.
Um, in my junior year in high school, and I'll make this long story short. My junior year in high school, I was taking this class called TV and Radio, and
Okay.
so we had this one part of the class where you had to make like intro music for. It was like some little fake talk show thing that we were doing or whatever.
Right.
And so my teacher had Fruity Loops 3 at the time.
Wow. This is
And I
you
was
gotta
like,
you gotta be talking like 2006 around.
yep, yeah. It was 2000, low key it was 2003.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
it might have been Fruity Loops too. I don't even know. It might be
Right.
2 or 3. Yeah. But so you had this program, and like I say, I was still trying to figure out like how to get into music production. And when I saw that, I was like, yo, like, what is this? What's going on?
Right.
So after class, I went and talked to him like, hey, I got to get this program. Like, how can I get it?
Right.
And at that time, he knew that I was like applying to colleges and stuff like that. He was like, man, if you can bring me 3 acceptance letters from colleges you applied to, I'll get you a copy of that program.
Wow.
Man, that that day when that day came,
Right.
I applied to like 12 colleges.
Wow.
Man, I ran to that class, gave them to him. I was like, yo, here they go. And he gave me
Right.
a copy of it. Yeah, just like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
MPC, any of that was ever your thing? Any of those kind of machines or
Yeah. So
I know you mentioned Elisa's.
right,
Right.
right. So I hate this, but like unfortunately I had an MPC 2000 XL at one point.
Mm.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little lazy with it, man. As far as like learning how to use it, I thought it was gonna be a little bit easier than what it was.
Right.
So I was used to using Fruity Loops at the time,
Right.
and so
Right.
I'm like, man, I gotta do all this just to chop up the sample and do all that. And man, I had it for like 2 or 3 months and ended up reselling it, and I regret
Wow.
it to this day. Yeah, I
Wow.
regret it. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, since we began doing battles, it always has been an issue
yeah,
with with the software guys just being so comfortable with software that they don't really
Yeah.
see the need for the hardware, but
Right.
it
Right. Right.
complements. It can only complement. It can't take away from. So it can only
Exactly.
enhance
Exactly.
what you are
Exactly.
already doing. So,
Yep.
um, it's just like not to drag it out, but
Yeah.
producers who got into production were shitted on by people who that made live actual beats with bands with live bands. So
Yeah.
it's always a thing where you can always enhance your sound by the further you go back. You go back to a drum machine, you can enhance. If you go further than that and go to an actual instrument, you can
Mhm.
enhance. You can't lose anything.
Right.
The
Right.
more tools you have in your toolkit or your arsenal, you can't lose. So it's just about adding other layers, other textures, other machines, other sounds. I remember producers that got the role in MV,
Right.
and just having that machine change their sound.
Mm-hmm.
It just has a different sound built into it. So,
Yep.
it doesn't hurt from software producer to jumping back into an MPC or whatever the equipment is, just to enhance your sound. Any instruments?
Definitely.
You do any instruments?
Uh, yeah. Piano. It's kind of
Okay,
growing up. I always had a piano like in the crib, like
right.
at my grandma's crib. Just kind of playing around on that and like kind of taking lessons here and there. And then in high school for a couple of years, I picked up the electric guitar.
Dope.
So I did that for like a couple of years. I was always like hopping around and like trying different stuff.
Right.
Uh, like early on, the fifth and sixth grade band stuff. I was playing the trumpet.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so those are like the three main instruments that I kind
That
of
would
learned.
be a heavy sound, sampling the trumpet.
Man,
That's
yeah, it
that's
was.
anthem music.
Right, right, right. I got
Yeah.
to I got to song pick one back up and get back into that. Yeah,
Yeah, trumpet. Oh wow, that's a powerful sound. That's
yeah.
anthem music. When you hear a
Oh, yeah,
trumpet,
most definitely,
that's
most definitely.
anthem music.
Yes, sir.
Trumpet, trombone, all them kind of sounds. So,
Yep.
all right, let's jump into another banger off of the compliments of the chef beat tape. This one is called "Let Me Be Your Angel."
Yeah.
Sounds melodic. I haven't heard it yet, but it already title alone sounds melodic.
Right, right.
What made you name it this?
That was the name of the sample. So
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
okay.
when it plays, you'll hear it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. All right, let's jump into this. Let me be your angel, Chef Cody.
Mhm.
Compliments of the chef. Let's do it. Very, very dope. Very, very dope. Who's the artist? I don't want to
Yeah,
sound ignorant because I think I should know who the artist is.
yeah, no, no, you good. I low key, I had to look it up myself just now to refresh. But her name is Stacy. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Stacy Ladisaw. It's Lattisaw.
Okay, I know the
Yeah,
last name. There's another artist with that last name, Ladisaw. I can't
yeah,
remember who it is, but
yeah,
it
yeah.
must be one of those musical families. But
Right,
very,
right.
very dope. Very, very dope.
Yeah.
What does it take to get into the setting to create a beat? Like, what is an actual typical day like in the studio with Chef?
Um,
And do you prefer to be alone when you produce, or what's your vibe?
yeah. For a while, I did prefer being by myself, but I started recently like working with like local artists of where I'm located at, and I don't know. It's kind of changed for me now. Like it's kind of cool to like produce stuff live in front of people and see people's reactions.
Mm,
That kind of feeds me. But to get into the vibe, um, a lot of times, I don't know. It's kind of I'm trying to think. A lot of times I'll hear a sample. Like if I'm like out, somewhere, it can be anywhere. Like
right.
I've heard samples. Like I manage a brewery, and we
Right.
we play music and whatever in the background, and I've heard some songs. I've had to Shazam some songs, and I just get to the crib and sample that song and get into it. So
Right.
it just kind of spurred a moment. Just if I hear something that inspires me, I go and sample it.
Right. What's the craziest effect or sound or thing you've
Mhm.
sampled? Like an animal or somebody burping? Like, what's the most randomest, craziest thing you've just out of
Uh,
the blue just decided to sample?
let me see. Dang, that's a good question. This is gonna sound stupid, but one of my guys is another guy that influenced me production wise. My guy wrote Dollars. He goes by Dollars now, but
Okay.
he gave me this like little sample pack, and they had like sex sounds in it.
Mm.
but
Hey, it's what rules the world.
exactly,
Right.
like, and I wish I still had it because it's you put them with some hard 808s or
Right.
whatever. Get that to Nicki Minaj, Cardi, one of
Hey
them.
man, you get to the
Yeah,
strip club, you might get a
that's
big check
it.
out of that kind of track.
Right,
That's
right.
those are good for sync. If you can make those kind
Yeah,
of sounds straight
yeah,
sync.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's probably like the weirdest like stuff I like ever like use or sample.
Right. It's funny you
Yeah.
mention that because in the publishing game,
Uh,
if you have a publisher, you can opt out of them sending your beats for like porn kind of stuff because if they have
uh,
they're handling the publishing administration for your beats,
right,
so they can send it to anybody and whoever bites,
uh-huh.
pause, or you can stipulate that you don't want it for like a sex scene or whatever in the sex industry,
That's crazy.
but
I didn't know that.
yeah, but some publishing info, because that's a huge
Right, right,
market. It's a huge market, but because it's your beat, it's your brand, you might not want your sound associated with that. Like
right, right.
some gospel single, for example, is
Hmm.
not gonna want their sound in a porno movie. But a producer who just wants a bag and doesn't care,
Right, right, right.
it's all yours. It's green light.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Let's keep it moving. We got another track off of the beat tape. This beat is called Master Chef Intro, and let's jump right into it. Any background information on this beat? How you got the name?
Yeah. So when I was picking the beats for the beat tape, I kind of wanted, and there's gonna, producers, we kind of got like that weird state of mind where we like trying to plan and do
Most
stuff.
definitely.
But I kind of wanted to like set it up kind of like where it felt like you were listening to like a movie, if that makes
Right.
any sense. So
Right.
this is actually the intro to the beat tape. So
Right.
you're gonna hear I sampled a little clip from the show Master Chef.
Okay.
And you
Okay.
see it kind of gives that vibe like, oh, like something's
Right.
coming. So
Right.
yeah.
Actually, there's a whole lot of like things you can connect and associate with like chef, food, cooking. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Theme wise. Like I've
Yeah.
always thought in my mind, like Raekwon the chef should open up a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like
Well, yeah.
like
That,
that's such an obvious like the
right.
brand of Wu-Tang is universal. Like the whole
Mhm.
world knows Wu-Tang. A
Right.
restaurant, just like Diddy owns a restaurant, Jay owns a restaurant, like Raekwon the chef, like having him as the logo, like
Right.
I mean, if people people are familiar with what's that waffle and chicken place? What is it
Oh, you
called?
talking about oh man.
Anyway, I can't remember what it's called off the top. I'm having a brain fart, but they have like a
Yeah.
chicken like named after ODB, like a ODB burger or something
Oh,
like
okay.
that. Roscoe's. Is it Roscoe's? No, not Roscoe's.
Not Roscoe.
But it's like a Roscoe's. It's like a
Okay.
Roscoe's.
Yeah,
But
that
they
you
they
know.
have they have like food that's named after like rappers and whatnot. So it's like Raekwon the chef is a no brainer to me. Like that should have been a restaurant.
Right,
But
right,
anyway,
right.
let's jump into Master Chef's intro. But Roscoe's he gets it in. I've been there and did that in LA a couple times. Master Chef intro off Compliments of the Chef. Let's check it out.
But only a few will be chosen to work under the guidance of three of the biggest names in the culinary world. Graham Elliott,
To me, a master chef is constantly innovating, trying things with food no one would ever dream of.
Joe Bastianich,
The hallmarks of a master chef are elegance, sophistication, and finesse.
and of course, Gordon Ramsay.
A true master chef cooks every dish as if their life depends on it. A master chef was perfection on every plate.
Eat me in the middle of the air. Eat me in the middle of the. Eat me in the middle of the air. Eat me in the middle of the. Eat me in the middle of the air. 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 Bro, don't you eat me in the middle of the air. Eat me in the middle of the air. I will meet you anywhere. Meet me, mother and father. Meet me, mother and father. Meet me, mother and father. I will meet you anywhere. Meet me, mother and father. Meet me, mother and father. Meet me, mother and father. I will meet you anywhere. Meet me, mother and father. Meet me, mother and father. Meet me, mother and father. I will meet you anywhere. Meet me, mother and father. Meet me, mother and father. Meet me, mother and father. I will meet you anywhere.
Damn, Cody. What you cooking, G?
That's a dope tag. That's a dope tag.
Yeah.
Very
Appreciate
dope tag. Were you ever trying to get a signature? I don't even hear people talking about it as much these days. That discussion is kind of passed to the side. I don't hear people talking about that signature anymore. I guess because there's so much that all sounds the same. It's like, how could you create a signature nowadays? But
Right.
like the era with the Swiss Beats and the Timberlands and the Dre's, and everybody had a very distinctive sound. Even without a tag on it, you know who it was.
Who it was, right.
Is that something you ever strive for, of having like the chef sound, like a specific sound that people can identify you with?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I think the way, especially like once I started doing like the battle beats, I really started kind of hearing myself develop my sound a little bit more.
Right.
But yeah, that's definitely something I'm trying to get to. A lot of times when I'm doing my beats, I know people like kind of recognize, but like I kind of like build the beat up. So like I'll start the beat off like the first 8 bars are kind of like it's just like kick drum and snare,
Right.
like some hi-hats. And then on the second 8, I'll bring in my 808s.
Okay.
And I kind of do that a lot with like a lot of my beats. So that's kind of like a little signature thing that I do.
Right.
But yeah, definitely.
What's the time commitment per beat average?
Oh man. Shoot, it can go from anywhere from 20 minutes to, man, up to like 3 hours on the beat for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
But all within a day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All within the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I got to get it done like that day. Yeah.
What particular element of the beat do you find having the most difficulty with? Is it coming up with the melody, the drums? Is there a specific thing that takes a little bit more time?
Probably coming up with the melody.
Okay.
Especially like coming up with melodies and trying to match it with the sample that I'm using.
Right.
So, it's like, you got to find a key and you got to make sure, everything is just like together and right. So yeah, probably the melody. Yeah.
Okay. Trying to get that glue of it all syncing together. Because it's I've heard some people do samples and it's like,
right.
It's just not glued together well, I get the idea.
The
sample itself is dope, but it's just not, the elements are just not coming together right. It doesn't sit well, you know. And as a producer, a producer can hear another producer and pick up on those things very easily. Maybe someone who's not into production, they it's whatever. They probably just like it because it's the sample in there, but they'll miss all those small little things that are just not connected. Do you do any collab? Is collabs a big thing for you? Collabing with other creatives or?
So before, to be honest, man, and I have to salute you and the platform of Battle Beat Makers. Before I started doing the beat battles, I wasn't really like into like collabing like that. Like it's just something that I never really like thought about, to be honest, because I'm always producing by myself.
Right.
But like meeting all these different producers and connecting. I've just really just started collabing with a lot of producers from the beat battle. So, and I'm starting to learn that like, especially now, like, you get producers like Southside, and he collabs with guys who just strictly make melodies like Palette.
Right.
So I'm starting to learn that like, okay, yeah, I need to start collabing because this collabing can only expand the horizon as far as like getting the placement. Like if I send this person some loops, they land something, hey, I'm a part of the production. That's a placement.
100%.
Yeah.
You might have just gave them an idea in the studio and get a credit for that.
Exactly.
You can just say, add this little key, one little simple key,
Yep. Yep.
You get a credit for that.
Most definitely.
So
Yeah.
that's dope. And also adding different collaborators, it's almost like adding an instrument to your portfolio
Oh.
because
Oh
you're getting a little LA sauce on it, you're getting a little Texas drip on it, you might get some Toronto flavor on it, some UK flavor. So every
Yep.
different region might add something that you just is not something you're familiar with.
Right.
And
Right.
it only enhances.
Most definitely.
So
Most
that's
definitely.
really dope. All right,
Yeah.
let's jump into another beat we have off the compliments of the Chef beat tape. This is called Royce. I'm assuming
Yep.
we're sampling Royce. She's the one
Yep.
that did, this is the group that did Car Wash, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. The whole soundtrack. Yep.
Okay. All right. So Royce, another beat off compliments of the Chef. This is Chef Cody. This is the beat tape breakdown. Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Damn, Cody, what you cooking, G?
Feels good. Feels
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of that, is there any? What does it take to get Chef in the zone? Some people got to sip on something.
Right.
Everybody has a different thing. What does it take to get you in a zone? Because that
Yeah.
is like you were in a zone when you created that. Like what got you into
Yeah.
that
Okay.
groove?
And we get this my zone. I mean, sometimes here and now I might sip. I mean, recently I kind of stopped drinking, but
Right.
just trying to get healthy
Good
out here.
health for 2021. We
Yeah,
need it,
yeah,
especially now. Keep
yeah,
your
yeah. You got
yeah.
different variants of the virus.
If
All
there
that.
was ever a time to keep your health together, it's
Right,
now.
right. Um, something I actually do, and it's funny. I've never told anybody this. Uh, I like the room to be kind of like dark.
Mm.
I like a lot of lights, and then on my TV, I'll put on like some like full concert, and it's like I said, it sounds weird, but it just kind of like sets the tone. So,
Right.
and I'll like mute the concert, and
Ah.
while I'm like making a beat, I'll kind of like look back at it, and be like, okay, all right, I can make a vibe that kind of matches what I'm seeing on
Wow.
TV. Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy. I've never
something
heard no
cool.
one even describe something like that before.
Yeah,
So
something I do.
it's almost like you're entertaining the concert. Like
Yeah,
you're trying to
yeah.
create a sound that would fit what you're watching on the screen.
Yep. Yep.
That's crazy.
Or even sometimes I'll even everybody on like on YouTube, like there's like what do you call them, like compilations of like
Yeah.
clips, like different movies.
Right.
I'll put one of those up and
Right.
just see if I can make something that can match that clip.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Any limitations with as you're younger, as I always tell producers or ask producers, parents
Mhm.
want their kids to go to become athletes or not athletes, but
Right.
if they're a big time ball player, an athlete is fine. But other than
Right.
that, lawyers, doctors, accountants, whatever.
Yeah.
Any pressure from family or surrounding people not to get into the production or to the music game?
Uh, no, I've always had that support from them. Yeah, I've
Okay.
always had that support. Like it, a lot of people don't know this either. Like growing up, man, both my parents are teachers, and
Mm,
so
okay.
I was kind of like, I was that nerd in high school, so I was always in the books. So they was always like, hey, as long as you get them A's and B's, whatever hobbies you want to do, go ahead and do them.
Right.
As long as you get your priorities straight, you good. So
Right.
yeah, so
Okay.
no
Okay.
pressure.
Dope, dope. Ever a chance where you just in the production game where you wanted to just call it quits? Like you just had enough, you weren't getting the traction you wanted, you weren't getting the love, you weren't getting the feedback. Is there ever a point, anytime, where you just felt like I'm done?
I'm trying to think. Nah, I don't think so. I just always wanted to stick at it because so I went to Purdue University, and so I'm still I live like in the area still.
Right.
So like I've done like a lot of shows around here. I've done like frat shows and shows at
Okay.
the bar. So like everyone knows who I am around here.
Right.
And so I think I kind of had the advantage of being here, still being located here still, because wherever I go, it could be a Walmart, it could be a bar, whatever. It's someone approached me about my music, just
Right.
talking to me about my music. So I've always
Right.
had that that influence around
Right.
me. So I never really wanted to stop. I've always just wanted to just keep going up with it. So
That's dope. That's dope. We got a question
yeah.
asking about mixtape samples. Did you have to ever get them cleared?
So I was actually going to chime in about this earlier. So for this beat tape, and I didn't personally, and I need to do more research. So if there's any producers watching this, or they can give me advice on it. I only have it on streaming on SoundCloud. I didn't do every streaming service
Okay.
because of the sampling, and I wasn't sure of like how I can go about that.
Right.
If I can post it on Spotify or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, right now I just have it just strictly on SoundCloud. I know that that's like a safe space to
Right.
kind of do whatever. Yeah.
I guess you're good until you get caught.
Yeah.
Like anything.
Right.
Use it until you get caught, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what hip hop has kind of been based on, you know. We used it as long as we could until we couldn't do it anymore. They started to catch on, you know, people having the metadata or the content ID tag in YouTube videos and whatnot. So yeah, you use it until you can't use it anymore.
So, I guess with that being said, yeah, I'll probably sometime this week, then I'll get it up there on Spotify. And all that. So yeah, definitely.
Right. I mean, I don't recommend doing it. I'm just saying,
Okay,
you know,
okay.
if you're not getting caught, then hey. But I'm not recommending doing it because I'm sure Spotify, to be on that level, I'm sure, because you're making money off it. That could come back to bite you. You know what I mean?
Okay,
You're making
right.
money off of someone else's samples.
Right.
I mean, surely if you're under the radar, they might not come after you, but you can never tell which track will blow or not.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
nobody
sure.
can really predict that this is the one that's gonna blow or this one is not gonna blow. Like any track could blow potentially, and when it
Right.
does, that's when, you know, the lawyers jump on your back and it becomes a whole nother thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, we'll get more into publishing in a bit.
Yeah.
Let's get through this beat tape though. Selena 200. So is this named after the artist Selena? A sample of Selena? Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
Selena. Yeah, definitely.
Right. All right. So let's jump into Selena. Once again, this is Chef Cody. If you know him as an MC, then he's Cody Styles. This is the compliments of the Chef Volume 1 beat tape out now on every platform that's called SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And we're going to drop it right about now. Let's get it.
Yeah.
El aplauso, amigos. Selena y los Dinos de Corpus Christi, Texas. Tremenda selección. Missing my
But in
baby.
my mind, I know you're mine, and somewhere you're thinking of me too.
That was crazy. That's another vibe. That you just vibe out to something like that.
Yeah.
Definitely vibe out to that. I really like how you chopped that sample.
Appreciate it.
I'm feeling that. That had a nice vibe to it. Selena.
Yeah.
Sprinkle that magic on it. Give us so do you often, I know right now with COVID, nobody's collabing in the studios a lot.
Right.
But do you usually prefer to be in the studio with an artist, or you just like to send them a track and bring it back when it's done?
Uh, I like to just send them a track.
Okay.
Yeah, and just kind of
Okay.
send it back and forth through email till it's
Right.
done.
Prior to COVID, that was your style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of situations where you were in the studio and it led to you not wanting to be in the studio? Like, what led to you just prefer not to be in the studio?
That's just how I always been. To be
Okay.
honest, it was just kind of like personal preference. I guess I'm one of those like introvert
Right.
extroverts
Right.
where like when it comes to me like making music and being in the process, I just like being alone. It's
Right.
just
Right.
no
Okay.
reason at all. Yeah.
Do you make a distinction between a beat that you want to put in a battle or one that you just save for, like, this is not battle, this is more like another situation kind of beat?
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I got in my like beat folders, man. I got the beat
Right.
battle folder. I got the
Right.
I can use this for certain artists. Yeah, most definitely.
What makes the distinction for you? Because you can have a smooth melodic beat that can still do
Right.
damage in a beat battle.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
true,
it
true.
could go either way. But what makes the distinction for you that this goes in this folder and this goes in that folder?
Man, let's see. So like I said, there are a lot of artists around the area where I live at. So if I don't know, if I just start making something, I'm like, man, I could hear that artist on this.
Right.
It's just kind of a vibe. I'm just like, all right, I can tuck this. Let me tuck this for that artist.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
yeah, and then for the battle beats, it's just man, I go in with them samples and I just do what I can.
Right. Right. Right.
So it's hard.
In terms of connecting with artists, what's the usual way you go about it? Is just like you hit them up and hit them with like, here's 5 beats, here's 10 beats.
Yeah,
What's the usual process you work with artists?
got you. So what I've recently been doing is reaching out to artists on IG.
Okay.
Artists that I see, and what it's kind of something I learned from the platform producer grind.
Right.
Is I've been trying to I love finding new artists that I like,
Right.
and if I can catch an artist that's like, oh, they only got like 5,000 followers on IG,
Right.
I hit them up right away because I know it's like they
Right.
haven't made it yet where it's like on some Drake level where you got to go through
Right.
20 different people just to get to that person. Right. So I've been doing that a lot lately. So I'm hopefully I can get some placements here soon with a
catch them before they blow. That's what I say.
Yeah,
we've done that with judges in the past. I ain't gonna name names, but we got them before they were at that out of here level.
Okay. Yeah,
and it's a whole different reality dealing with them when they're still on the humble. Because next year their prices will be like quadruple what you pay now. So it's always good to catch them before they blow. And it's just something to keep in mind. Like, definitely hit up artists. It's so fortunate now that you could just do it so easily. Like, there was a time where if you didn't have connections with like a label, like it's impossible to reach an artist. But now it's so simple. Like, you could DM anybody. There's nobody that's I mean, obviously maybe a Jay-Z, Nas, or Drake, or a Future is not going to probably respond to a DM. But then again, you just never know.
Right.
At least you have the option to directly contact them. Whereas in like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, no such thing could happen.
Exactly. Especially like on IG too, like how you can you can tag people in your video.
Right. That's the thing. Tagging a hot artist right now.
Exactly. And they get the notification.
Right.
And so I got hit about a few people. So like I said, we'll see.
Right. That's all it is getting your music out there. You never know when it's gonna take off. But you just gotta keep pushing. Like, just keep putting your music out there, keep pushing it out there. Eventually at some point someone's gonna bite, someone's gonna want to get down with your sound. As long as you stay consistent, keep putting out that work. It might not happen in a year, it might not happen in 10 years, but it's the marathon, as Nipsey Hussle said.
Yeah,
this is most definitely a marathon, so definitely stick to what you're doing. All right, let's get to another track. This is the second last track that we got. Now, how many tracks you got on the whole beat tape?
Good question. Dang, I want to say that there are 16 to 17 beats on there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, so there's 16, 17 beats, Compliments of the Chef Volume 1. We got 8 tonight. So this is the last one we're going to drop for today's show. This is called Summer Ender. I can't wait till the summer starts, but we'll ride with Summer Ender for now. Track number 7 for us, Compliments of the Chef. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
Summertime sadness, just wanted you to know, baby, you're the best. Got my hair up, I got that summertime sadness, gets me anymore. I got that summertime sadness, gets me anymore.
Very nice flip. Very, very nice flip. I like that.
Appreciate it.
Give me your top 3 producers. Who's the top 3 producers that influenced you, or maybe they didn't influence you, but you just think they're like the top 3 in the game? Could be old, could be new.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Definitely up there for me is probably the Heat Makers.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, man, like that whole dipset movement
Right.
is what really like. At that point I was like, all right, like I really got to figure this out, because to me the Heat Makers, the way that they, I don't know, it was like they're able to make these sample beats that get hit in the clubs, and I was like, that's cold. So
Right.
definitely the Heat Makers.
Interesting. I usually don't hear them in the people's top 3, but that's dope. Keep going.
Yeah. For me, it's just like, man, that sounds cold to me.
Right.
Let's see who else. Not to be cliche, but I have to say Kanye.
Okay.
You know, like I remember the first day or the first time I heard Jesus Walks.
Mm.
Like I remember everything I did that day,
Wow.
and the way he, like, you know, used the choir, and I'm like, man, like how did he do this, man? And then third, I had to say Timbaland.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Timbaland.
I mean, those two get on most people's top 3.
Yeah,
Heat Makers not as often, even though they're still dope. Now you said
right.
you remembered the day you heard Jesus Walked.
Bro,
Wow.
I swear, there are like certain moments in hip hop and certain songs where, like, it just hit me. It just hit my soul a certain way. Like I remember even taking it back. You know, I could say Dr. Dre could be number 4, because I remember the first time I heard "Get Rich or Die Trying,"
Mm.
bought it at Best Buy, put it in the whip. I'm in the parking lot of Best Buy for 2 hours, listening to the album straight,
Wow.
front to back, because I was just like, what is this, man? So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
What did Kanye do for you? I know you said, as you mentioned, you spent the whole, you remember the day vividly. I can't think of any
Yeah.
song that I've ever listened to where I can go back and remember the day that it had that kind of. I mean, there's a lot of songs that had a big impact on me.
Yeah,
but to think
yeah.
that, like, but to go back to a specific day that any
Right.
song dropped, what impact did Kanye have on you as far as being a producer in Chicago?
Man, just knowing that, like, somebody from the same neighborhood as me was able to get to the point of, like, being in the studio with Jay-Z.
Right.
And I don't know, just kind of like, so there's this like mall called River Oaks, and he used to be in the mall, like, selling CDs and standing on tables back then. And
Wow.
people used to look at him like, man, who is this crazy dude? But he just became that guy. And then I remember, like, you know, Through the Wire came out, and then that's when people were still like, is it Kanye? Is it King Gay? Like, what? Like, who is this? And then you know, next thing you know, you've seen videos of him and
Right.
Jay-Z in the studio. So it was just, you know, just knowing that, like, he came from the same neighborhood as me, and he came
Okay.
from the same type of upbringing, and he was able to make it to that top level.
Next level.
Yeah, next level is what got it for me.
All the way to his own hemisphere.
Yeah,
And a league and a level all to his own.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Artists you would like to work with. What's your top 3, top 5 artists that if you can get your beat into their hands,
Man,
that would seal the deal for you?
I'm putting this out into the atmosphere.
Most definitely.
So, Schoolboy Q. Shoot. Dang near the whole Dreamville roster. So, JID, all of them, man. J. Cole, all of them. Who else? Pusha T.
Push.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of somebody else. Probably Dave East. I rock with Dave East. Okay. Yeah.
You like bars?
Yeah, I like bars. I like artists who can have bars, but can also still, like I said, they can rock any type of atmosphere.
Right.
They can sit down and they can give you bars and hit your spine with it.
Right.
Or they can give you something that, that's in the club and, had a club run. Yeah.
Do you make type beats? Like, do you have a Dave East type beat and a Schoolboy Q type beat?
I kind of, sort of, yeah. I kind of do.
Okay.
I don't like focus too much on that type of thing.
Right.
I just, like I said, man, for me, I just kind of vibe out. It's all kind of like organic for me. I don't really like when I go into making a beat. I don't say like, oh, this beat is for such and such.
Right.
I just kind of do what I like to do.
Right.
And whatever comes out, I'm like, oh, that can match Dave East or Fabulous or whoever else.
Got you.
Yeah.
Keeping it more authentic and just spontaneous. If it works that way, it works that way. If not, we try to force it. All right, we're down to the wire. We got the last beat from Compliments of the Chef. Of course, there are 16 bangers on it. We're playing half of them tonight. So if you like what you heard tonight, just keep in mind there's another half to all this heat. So you can catch Chef Cody on IG at Chef Cody, all one word. No space, no dots, no periods. CHEF COLDY. Do you still use the Cody Styles? Handle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I bounce back and forth. Yeah, Cody Styles, no space. Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna jump into this last track called "The Rain." I'll drop the IG in the chat. Is this a Missy influenced?
No.
Okay. I mean, many people have songs with the rain in it, but for some reason, Missy just popped out. Like maybe this is a flip. New Edition, Can You Stand the Rain?
Right.
I think the Temptations have something about the rain, but let's jump into Chef Cody's edition of it. Compliments of the Chef available now on on SoundCloud platforms. We ain't trying to get nobody hollering at us for any suits and whatnot. But let's jump into it. The Rain, Chef Cody. Let's do it.
As you can see, I am not dead. All that challenge shit is over with. I'm the king now.
Chef Cody with the pot.
Damn. How long are the beats on the tape? Because I wanted that to go for at least 3 minutes. I'm hoping I'm hoping he just chopped it off for like a beat battle.
Nah, to be honest, they a lot of them is just like a minute 30.
Okay.
Because I figured, people's attention span is so short now.
Right. Very, very short. You just want to give them a taste.
Yeah, it's just kind of like go through it. Yeah.
You just want to open the pot, take a whiff, and close it back up on them.
Exactly.
I got you.
Yep.
That's what it is. I mean, it's hard. It's so much traffic right now. There's so much music out there. There's probably like, I don't know, 10,000 songs that get dropped per day.
It's crazy.
It's just so much clutter, and it's hard to really get to the good stuff. But
right.
Rest believe the good stuff is out there. You just got to dig a little deeper, take some time. I mean, people have a little bit more time on their hands now with the pandemic. So by all means, check out these producers. That's what this whole new edition is all about, the beat tape breakdown, where we just kind of dive a little deeper. On the battle, beat economy is dope. You get to hear a beat, but sometimes a person loses first round, you don't get to hear what else he had in the stash. So this is a chance to kind of dive deeper into that, hear everything they dropped. The fact they even took the time to put the whole tape together, because every producer obviously got 10 beats. You know what I mean? So why not put it together like a serious body of work and put it out there? You never know when you're going to get that bite from that artist, from that sync opportunity. There's so many different ways and so many places to get your music put into. Just put it together, put a compilation together, put a beat tape together. We can have you on here, and, get your thing off and keep pushing. But we want to salute you, Chef Cody. You've been in a lot of battles. You won, I think, at least 3, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So we keep that moving. I mean, we got Beat Economy, 200. We got the 1,000 a week from today, and the sample flip end of the month, February 28th. 4 dope samples. Eni Kamosi, Whitney Houston, Freddie Goes to Hollywood, I think it's called, or Frankie Goes to Hollywood. And there's one more. Oh, Al Green. Can't forget the legendary Al Green. So anybody who's up to flipping samples, by all means, February 28th, we do the sample flip battle. But hit the site up. We got all the events on there. We will definitely keep the beat tape breakdown going forward. We already got like a bunch of emails of producers that already want to jump on it. Overseas, US, Canada, UK. So we'll definitely be keeping this moving. So if you're a producer with a beat tape together that's out, that's fresh, that's dope, by all means, hit us up on IG at World Beat Battle. Or hit the site, and we'll definitely get it popping. But Chef, we're gonna sign off. Actually, hold up. Let me put both tags in the chat. So if anybody wants to holler, so those are the both contacts, at Chef Coldy or at Cody Styles. Make sure check it out. Check out the tape. Support. And if you're an artist and you want to, take it to that next level, by all means, reach out to him, put some work together, collaborate, and make some magic happen. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. First edition, the first episode of the Beat Tape Breakdown. We had Mini Monsters on earlier. We had the Pyros on earlier. And now we have Chef Cody, took you from Atlanta to Toronto and to Chi-Town. And just to, give you a little sprinkle of the different producers that are out there. And these are 3. There's a lot more. And we're just going to keep it pushing. So my name is Clifton. We're going to sign off. And peace, be safe, and we'll catch you at the next battle or the next beat tape breakdown.
Oh yeah, most definitely, always.
All right,
man.
All right, salute.
Yeah.